to be right on top of everything, don't you think? Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk. It's the In Real Time Car Show. Today coming to you from the monthly Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-in at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican restaurant in Katy, Texas. Not on the Katy Freeway. Just ahead, we'll talk to more of the participant cruisers at today's event. Plus, Mr. Mars reviews the Mazda3 or the Mazda Hashtag. We'll let you know what that's all about coming up. We'll check our weekly events calendar, and we'll have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. That and more just ahead on today's In Real Time Car Show for Saturday, March 20th, 2021. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World, Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeff Zekin, David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us today. Stan's not going to be here. I just got word from Sheila, his wife.
Stan's at the track.
Stan's at the track in Georgia.
Nice.
So,
nice.
So there you go. Now we know why he's not here.
Yeah,
because they've been on the road for 3 weeks. They went to the Baby Gator Nationals, then the Gator Nationals, and now they're in Georgia for some event that Jason Line and Greg Anderson are having something to do in Georgia.
Well, that's at Atlanta. This is the off weekend for NHRA, and next weekend they're going to be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So they'll probably be there for that as well. So they'll be there for a few weeks.
Yeah. So, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you here exactly. Well, let's see.
Dead air.
We've been on just a moment. We've been on the road for 3 weeks racing. Baby Gators, then Gator Nationals. Now we're in Georgia racing, and she and Stan are racing stock and super stock, put on by Bo Butner and Jason Line. Stan did good last night. He made it down to 5 cars. On that, I guess he's out. Yeah, so that's good, going through 5 rounds. Very good. All right, Mr. Mars, it's all yours.
You know, when we got here this morning, which we got here early, but we weren't – there was real close to coming in behind us. There was 4 cars that came in, and one of those was what I thought was – basically a Shelby, but it's not a Shelby. And Bill Seckar, is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. He's going to explain what this is because I've tried to say the name of it 4 times and I didn't get it straight yet.
So what I brought was a Superformance Mark III, which is basically a Shelby Cobra replica. These cars, they're built in South Africa and are manufactured. They're not a kit. They're not home built at all. They're shipped over here to the U.S., usually go to Irvine.
As a complete car?
As a complete car. Well, not totally complete. It's a rolling chassis. So they come over here as a rolling chassis, and then the owner or the dealer that gets it installs a motor and transmission, and then it becomes a complete car.
Of the buyer's choice.
That's correct.
Because it doesn't have to necessarily be
correct.
a Ford power
So you
plant.
get to select your horsepower and the drivetrain.
That's correct. Yeah, so the one I have.
So what did you get the 10,000 horsepower model?
No, this thing, it's so small. The engine I have is a 342. It's a Roush 342R.
Okay. Nice.
Puts out just under 500 horsepower, so it's plenty for that
little
little
car.
car.
How much do you need for a car that weighs nothing?
Yeah, you don't. Anything above 300 horsepower, you're probably not going to be able to use it all anyway.
Right.
So what's the car weigh?
About 2,200.
Okay. With or without the motor?
With.
With the motor.
Yeah, that's with.
Let's load it up.
Yeah, no, loaded up, you're probably around 25.
25.
Yeah, but with the motor,
Which is nothing.
2200. No, it's a go-kart. I mean, it really is. It's like a 500 horsepower go-kart.
So have you had it? Have you had it in a parking lot
autocross?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you didn't have to think about
well,
it.
Smiling.
I'm smiling because it's not what you're used to, right? I mean, new cars have a lot of traction control, nanny devices, stuff like that. This thing has nothing. So when you put your foot down, you either have traction or you don't, right? It's very simple. If you need traction, again, you lift up, and it gets out of hand very quickly.
Needless to say.
Yeah, if you don't really know what you're doing, it can kill you.
That would be me.
And
so that's why I wouldn't take it out of the actual autocross track,
right?
Because you can't get going that fast in it to kill yourself. Well, have you tried
to kill myself in it?
No.
Not on purpose. No.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
just checking.
Yeah.
But one of the great things about the Superformance is the suspension system's a little more sorted out than the original Cobra was.
Absolutely. Yeah, so when I got this, I actually drove a continuation series and the Superformance, and in my opinion, the Superformance actually handled better. So I saved money, and I think I got a better handling car.
So you decided to buy a car as a rolling chassis as opposed to a kit car, because there's a lot of kit cars of these.
There are.
And so why did you go that route as opposed to building it yourself?
Time.
Oh, okay.
You wanted it. You wanted it now.
Well, I looked a long time, right? I mean, I'd been in the market for probably the past 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Test driving them, figuring out which model I wanted, whether I wanted a kit. The kits, if you know what you're doing and you have time, you can make a great car from a kit.
But if you're buying somebody else's existing
you don't know
kit,
what you're getting.
Yeah, or the quality of the work that was done, and you're
That's exactly
to be buying their headache.
That's exactly
why
right.
They're getting rid of it.
So it basically came down to, do I want to spend 2 or 3 years and do it right myself on a kit, or do I want to continue looking and find what I really, really want and just spend a little extra money?
That's already sorted out.
Exactly. Yeah. It's manufactured. The fit and finish is I say second to none as far as the Superformance goes. So.
And you wanted the true Cobra lookalike, because Superformance makes a couple of variations. Don't they make a Daytona?
They do. They do.
Well?
They're the only licensed one by Shelby. When Shelby was alive, he went around and looked at a couple of different kits and stuff like that. And Superformance was the truest replica of what he had done in the past.
Glass body.
So, yes, these are fiberglass. Yeah.
And where is the factory? Where do they build?
South Africa.
In South Africa.
Yeah.
And that's where it was whenever he said, okay.
So I guess there's no free
correct.
Amazon shipping on this one.
Not that I know of, no.
Yeah.
You know, but the shipping may come through the Amazon to get it.
Yeah, that's right. The Delta.
Yeah.
Wow.
They brought it over with the Holden.
The Holden.
So the process, you found a dealer?
No, this one was actually secondhand. So I didn't buy it new per se, but what I did do is I had spec'd out what I wanted.
Right.
And it took me that long to find the exact car that I wanted to buy.
Okay.
If you were to buy one now, you'd go through Superformance in Irvine, and I think they have a satellite in Arizona, I'm not sure. But you would go through them, and you would pick a rolling chassis, and then from that point, you would either work through them or work through your own mechanic and get an engine and transmission put in there.
Okay, so they could hook you up with Roush like they did with somebody
Absolutely.
up here.
So how did that Roush connection go for you?
So I looked at a bunch of different engines. Okay, Roush uses a dart block, which is extremely overbuilt for this car.
Right. It's a racing block.
It is. It is. This whole engine is a racing engine, right? I mean, Roush 8's they known for building NASCAR motors. But this motor is, I don't want to say detuned because it's not, but for this car, it's the perfect horsepower weight for this car.
Why do you say that? Because you also said earlier that, wow, this is a lot of horsepower for that car.
It is, but the weight, okay.
You've got an educated right foot, don't you?
Yes. I could take less horsepower and it would weigh the same. So this is, I think for the weight, this is about as much horsepower as I can get. If I added weight, of course, I could get more horsepower.
But can you get the horsepower to the ground?
After a certain speed, yes. Now, in first and second, if I put it to the floor, no. But you have to.
But you couldn't in an original Cobra either.
No.
So characteristically, the car is relatively Cobra-ish, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I think substantially more refined, because the Cobra was a bit of a brute beast with its own weirdness of the only time I ever rode in one, I swore I caught my feet on fire.
And most of them were 289s. People don't realize that. The real popular racing ones were the 289s, not the 427s. Yeah, the 427 just came out for the street. So
it just that's all cubic inch bragging, because you could never get the power to the ground of that.
And it didn't handle very well. There's too much weight up front.
Correct.
So they'd spin around a lot quicker
and
than the
this
289s.
engine of yours is all aluminum.
No, the dart block is iron. I believe so. I'd have to double check that, but it's a Dart Sportsman block, and I believe it's iron.
Aluminum heads.
Aluminum. Everything else is aluminum. Yes,
right.
But the block itself, I think the block. I looked it up. The block's rated for like 2,500 horsepower. It's a racing block. Everything put on there just brings it up to like 500.
Seriously, I thought for sure that it would be an aluminum block.
So
that's
sort of where the detune comes in with the cast iron block, and then everything else aluminum. That would sort of detune the horsepower.
Yes.
From the beginning.
Yeah, you could take this block, I believe, and add more race duty type parts to it and accessories,
pair of hair dryers,
and get 2,000 plus horsepower.
Right.
Yeah.
To get what the block is actually rated for.
That's right.
Is it carbureted or fuel injected?
Carbureted.
It's still carbureted.
Wow. Yeah. No, I bought this so I can work on it. I can't work on computerized stuff.
No.
What do you do for a living?
Private equity.
Private equity.
Yeah. So I invest day trading, cycle trading, options, stuff like that.
So if I got, 100 grand, I give it to you, and you can make me some dough off of my
you
dough.
can make him some dough. You'll still have 100 grand.
No, it's not like that. Not like that.
Just remember, buy low, sell high.
And share alike.
Yeah.
Well, so is that the only car in your collection?
No, I have a couple others, but they're more daily drivers. A little newer Lexus. I've got the GSF model, which is a really nice Lexus.
Yeah.
I want to get the new IS. They're calling it the IS 500, but it's the ISF as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a little smaller.
It's the little one. With the big engine.
That's right. That's right.
Well, that's interesting that you like Japanese daily drivers, but you like American horsepower for the fun stuff.
That's right. That's right. The torque here is more than the Lexus. The Lexus is dependable, right? Toyota. I mean,
so
you got to go to work every day.
That's
what
right.
fired your passion to go the Shelby route?
That's a good question, because growing up in high school, I was Mopar. So I had Challenger, I had a Roadrunner, I had a Satellite.
A Plymouth Satellite.
Yeah, you remember those?
No, I do.
Okay,
yes.
So it was a Plymouth Satellite with a 440, 850 double pumper, and it was bored out to like a 452. It had 500 horsepower, and back then that was,
but it also had 500 or 600 foot-pounds of torque.
It did, and it also weighed 5,000 or 6,000 pounds.
So are you listening to this, John Hovis? Because here's a guy after your own heart right here.
You ever been out to Hemi Hideout?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay.
So I know about it.
John's a friend of the show.
Okay.
And we've done the show out there quite a few times.
Yeah, he was watching earlier, so he just had to jack
passion,
Yeah.
You've got to.
Yeah,
once they reopen, you've really got.
I think that he has a Plymouth Satellite out there.
I believe so. I'm thinking the same thing.
Well, if it's pearl white, then it's mine.
And you can go on hemihideout.com and make reservations, and they'll give you dates and stuff. I don't think they're open to the public right now just because of the pandemic and stuff.
Okay.
But it's well worth the trip. It's really just the other side of kids.
Yeah, I had the opportunity a couple of times.
You have children?
I do.
Teenagers, maybe?
Teenagers, yeah. But she's not into cars, so doesn't.
Well, but there's enough other stuff out there with the neon signs, tractors. I mean, there's enough stuff to at least ooh and ah a little bit at.
Okay. John's moved away from cars, and now he's into all of this signage and neon signs and porcelain signs.
He's got a soda shop set up, soda fountain and everything. He's got some really cool stuff
and then they do, before pandemic, they would almost quarterly they'd have like a club would come out there and they'd kind of open it up to the public.
Yeah, it'd be usually 3 or 4 clubs.
Yeah, like a little club appreciation thing. But you get a chance, it'd make a nice day trip because it's not that far.
Yeah,
and he does welcome Ford Shelby. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, the Shelby Club's been out there. I think almost every car club in town has been out there.
Yeah, bring him 100 grand. There you go.
Yeah.
No,
I'm sure he'll welcome me then.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So. So what brings you out today? How did you find out about the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-in?
I think it was Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'd look at.
Hopefully it was us on Facebook.
I don't know.
Well, the answer is
yes.
Yes. Well, there's a couple of Cruise-in Facebook pages.
Well, I just search for like car shows and stuff like that, and quite a few pop up, and so every now and then we pick a couple.
Well, we're under car shows too.
Right, that's what I mean.
We have our own car show.
Now that I think about it, I think it was you guys that brought me out here.
So
there you go.
Good answer.
Tailpipes and Tacos.
Did you just kind of run across the Corvette and Viper you rode in, or are you guys all friends?
We're friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the purple Corvette, interesting color.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask, is it paint or is it a wrap?
It's a wrap.
Okay. I was going to say that is a bold colored purple.
We gave him some
plum
slack
crazy.
That's plum crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Hot pink, plum crazy, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Didn't they make a cereal that was plum crazy something? Some sort of.
Plymouth made a Barracuda.
I know that. I know that.
I think that was Captain Crunch.
Was it Captain Crunch? I thought it was more Count Chocula and Boo
So
Berry.
you have of the three of you that rode in together, you kind of have maybe the calmest color of
definitely the calmest
silver,
color. Yeah.
The green on the Viper is pretty bold as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys driving around together kind of attracted just a little bit of attention.
Yeah, we don't drive around too fast.
No, I just mean
right under the speed limit. We accelerate to the speed limit quick, but then we stop.
Yeah, that's
it. Or
you get there. That's what I tell my wife.
Yeah.
I'm not speeding, but I can get there
You
really
know, these
quick.
investor types are just a shade under those politicians. That's all.
They understand the
It's
law.
gray. It's all gray area.
Are you headed out to Baytown later?
No,
Okay.
I was gonna go there yesterday for the
TK2?
TK2. Yeah.
TK2.
Yeah, but no.
Texas.
Yeah,
Whatever
mile I think it's the mile race, right? Yeah.
No. The
mile race.
Texas Mile. That's the roll
Next
racing
weekend.
out of Baytown.
Okay,
Texas Mile is next weekend
Okay.
at Victoria Airport.
Okay.
So it's really close compared to what it used to be when it was all the way out at Goliad. But that's always a fun event to go to as well.
Well, it's competing with this right now, right?
There's nothing.
TXT,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of. But
It's
not
luckily
really.
it's far away.
Well, it's
So.
It's a little bit different racing.
That's a definite
Yeah.
track event. We're more of a come hang out and chat event.
Right.
We're the cool guys.
That's why we're here, right?
Exactly.
That's why we're here.
Right. Well, plus
This
the
guy's got the
tacos,
right answers.
the Bloody Marys. Have you had a Bloody Mary
Not
here?
yet.
But
Bloody Marys
well.
and 500 horsepower might not mix, Don.
But he's got another hour and a half to sober
right,
up, so we don't
And
have to worry
mimosas.
about that.
Don't forget about mimosas.
That's right. Those are good.
Mimosas.
So have you cruised around, looked at some of the other cars here?
I have. I'm really impressed too. I mean, there's really a
What are
lot
you
of different
impressed?
cars.
What impresses a guy that owns a Shelby?
The newer sports cars. The technology has come a long way.
Long
It
way.
really has. Yeah.
I have a 21 Corvette.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. That's an 01 Corvette. And it doesn't even compare to one that's 5 years newer.
Right.
The difference is amazing.
I
And
know.
then, so if you just take that and compare that to cars of today, car that's 5 years old, it is the
I know.
one today is
Well,
miles
I
ahead.
think you fully understand that with your Superformance because there is zero technology.
Right.
Well, not zero, but
No, you're
minimal
right. There's
technology
zero.
on
Comparatively speaking, it's
Compared to
zero.
anything, it's zero. The only thing electronic are the headlights and the taillights. Everything else is mechanical.
that. You know, next to the Corvette,
can
which
work
has
on
got
that,
all
yeah.
the smart brain, all the smart driver features on it.
Right.
And I'm not a Viper fresh-minded person, but I know early Vipers had very little technology, driver technology on them. The later ones had some, but never evolved to the level of driver technology that they had on the Corvette.
Right.
My biggest thing when I worked for General Motors was I'd always tell people, don't mess with the button. You're not smarter than the car is, because when you start turning that stuff off, that's when I'll see your car in the body shop somewhere.
I was at an FCA event up in at the test track, and they had the Vipers out there, and they were letting
the
us drive
Chelsea
them.
Proving Grounds.
Chelsea Proving Grounds.
Thank you.
And I, being the smart guy that I am, while I was sitting there waiting for my turn to get onto the track, I turned the traction control off.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
Well, the first turn I kind of semi-drifted around it, but then the third turn I lost it, and they made me
Did you
quit.
go into the weeds?
Nope, didn't go into the weeds, but they made
But
me
he
quit.
never got to drive another one.
That's
That was
exactly
the last
right.
one.
And he got a ticket.
In the parking lot on the test track.
Yeah, because they have actually several test tracks at the Chelsea Proving Grounds. One is the great big high-speed oval thing. It's not even an oval. And then there's that other one that's kind of like the road course off to the side that everybody wants to go on, but absolutely no one knows how to drive it, including me.
Yeah.
But I did not turn the traction control off. I learned that a long time ago.
Well, this was over in the big parking lot over in the skid area. They dried it up, and they put some cones out there so that you could kind of had a little more
Go
control.
slow, but go fast.
Well, and if you did do something stupid like turn the traction control off, you really wouldn't hurt anybody or anything.
Other than your pride.
So
Well, yeah.
is there
You get out of a car like this.
are there other Superformance cars in Houston?
Yes.
And do you guys all?
Yeah. So we're part of Texas Cobra Club.
Okay.
And it's funny you mentioned that because
Do you happen
next
to
week,
know Randy Weldon with the Mustang Club?
No. Well, I might know him by face, but names I'm not.
You would definitely know Randy Weldon by face.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about the Texas Cobra Club.
So we're actually having a spring meet we have every year in San Marcos, and this is happening next week. We'll be out there Wednesday through Saturday, and right now we have 98 Cobras.
Oh wow!
That are going to be there.
Tell me that won't attract attention.
No, it does. It always does.
By the police.
Well, they love it, right? I mean, most of the cops that we've met are car guys, right? I mean, they're just, that's what they like to do as well. So as long as you don't act like a fool, they don't care, and they like them. So
and most guys like you are old enough, you got that out of your system a long time ago.
No, he did not.
And that or he's smart enough to go out someplace else and do it.
I'm not going to say it on air.
Has Mike gotten it out of his system?
Yeah, the man right over there is listening.
He could care less.
Yeah, but no, the San Marcos one, it's a big get together. We have Cobras from all over the country come to that one.
Pretty much a national meet.
It is, but it's not advertised as such.
How many true Shelby-produced ones will show up?
We've seen
CSX
2.
cars. Okay.
No, these are like the early CSX, the ones that stay in the trailer until picture day. They come out, take a picture, and they go back in the trailer.
Oh,
yeah, we've seen a couple of those.
Yeah, and being a fun car, not really. It'd be an interesting car to own, but it wouldn't be a fun car to own.
No, I'd be
it'd
worried
be so
about,
much better to drive it because you got to
yeah.
worry about somebody leaning on it, and all of a sudden they've dented it.
So,
oh, gosh, get away from my car.
Right.
Well, it's great talking to you. We really
thanks.
appreciate you stopping by and talking to us.
Beautiful car.
Yeah. Is this your first Tailpipes and Tacos?
No.
No?
No, I've been here.
How did we manage to miss you?
I don't know.
You were hiding?
I don't know.
You were handing
walking
out
around? I
don't
don't know.
know. Handing out cards in the parking lot?
Yeah. No.
Business cards in the parking lot? No?
No, I don't. Usually we get here
Y'all
a
got
little
here
later.
early this morning.
Today was early.
Yeah, you guys got here real early.
But normally we're here, I think, a little later.
And we're
and
already
maybe
on the air.
you guys are already doing your thing. So we just missed you up until now.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you're lost.
You have a beautiful car.
Yeah. Well, thank you very
Great
much.
story behind it as
Thanks.
well.
Yeah.
I'd never heard that, so I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. What do we know about Shelby's? I didn't know anything about
Well,
that.
About its Superformance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did I say
Superformance.
that right?
Yeah, Superformance.
Finally.
You got it.
All right. Well, thanks again. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you next time.
Yep.
All right. Very good.
Thanks.
All right. Time now for the events calendar.
Well,
Conrad has that.
tonight, and I'm sure David's son Ryan will be going. The Kima Car Meet, 6 p.m. tonight. It's a very good, very active show. They're there all the time.
And they're not killing people afterwards.
Well, they behave. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., the Houston Head Turners Street Cruise at the AMC Gulf Point movie theaters.
Gulf Point.
Yeah, Gulf Point. So like 610 and 45-ish area.
That's Gulf Gate.
Okay, well, Gulf Point. I don't know. AMC Gulf Point 30.
Come on. No.
No. And
Gulf
then
Gate.
5 p.m. tomorrow night's the All-American Muscle show at the Kroger's on 99 east of 45 in Spring. And then Sunday night is Freddy's Steak Burgers at 1960 in Eldridge. Wednesday night will be Freddy's Steak Burger in Katy. Friday night will be Freddy's Steak Burgers on Kirkendall in 2920.
Freddy's Steak Burgers.
They're real active in the car community.
Yeah.
They host pretty much all
They've
of
never
their
invited
shows.
us to anything.
No, not yet. March
Why
20
not?
I
You
don't know.
seem to have the connection there.
March 26th through the 28th is the Texas Mile down at the Chase Field Industrial Airport Complex in Beeville. I'm sorry, I said Victoria. They moved to Beeville. They were in Victoria last year.
not too
Beeville has an airport?
Yep.
Okay.
And industrial complex. And then on March 27th, the Cletus and Cars, Texas.
That's my event
at Houston
there.
Raceway.
Yeah,
So it'll be out
Cletus
of
and
Bayton.
Cars.
Cletus
Is
and Cars.
that Cletus McFarland?
Yep.
Oh, man, he's going to be in town. We need to when is that?
Next Saturday.
And it's 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Right after we get off the air. Well, how can he come here? He can't come here because he's going to be there.
He's going to be setting up over there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should go there.
Maybe
For
we
their
should, but we
setup,
weren't
or
invited.
Maybe we could get him to zoom in from there.
Maybe.
And then also on Saturday.
It's up to you.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
your charge this week
You're
to
our
do that.
Zoomy.
Had to open my mouth, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Also next Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. is Hot Wheels and Heroes at Second Baptist Church West Campus, the campus out here on Katy Freeway.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Ooh, look at that beautiful car right there.
Yep.
It was
Is that like a 40
yeah,
Ford?
it was parked next to the
No,
40.
I'd say that's probably a late 40 Chevy.
Oh, really?
He was parked next to the first gentleman.
Well, that's the body
Next to
style
the
that used to
DeSoto.
run at Meyer Speedway.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars had a chance to review the 2021 Mazda Hashtag,
Mazda.
and I'll let you explain
okay.
that.
So fat
So?
fingers hit the shift key, and so it's the Mazda 3. Okay, so it's a 2021 Mazda 3 Premium Plus all-wheel drive. Now this is a small hatchback, if you want to call it that, and I found it interesting to learn that the hatch has a different size. It's literally a different size than the Mazda 3 sedan. You can get a sedan or you can get a hatchback, and it's about 8 inches shorter than the sedan is. I'm not sure what these guys over here are doing. The sedan is 8 inches shorter than the hatch. Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is going to take some editing.
Yeah, we have to do a little editing on this one.
No, I moved the screen. It was.
Those people at Mazda will love it.
And I lost the
All right,
picture.
let's start over.
I lost the picture.
Drove a
Mike.
Mazda 3.
I lost the picture, Mike.
Oh my gosh. We're all having fun now. So, again, we're talking about the 2021 Mazda 3 Premium Plus all-wheel drive small hatchback. It's available. You can get the Mazda 3 in a sedan or a hatchback. We had the hatchback. It's actually 8 inches shorter than the sedan, which I thought was real interesting. So on the exterior, we're talking about we have LED lighting all around up front, the automatic on and off with the adaptive headlights, the tail lights. We had the black side mirrors on our vehicle, and it's sitting on top of a soul red paint. And this is a bright red paint that's just absolutely gorgeous. It's an extra option. You got to pay a little bit for that. Had the front air dam. We had the black car hatch spoiler that's on it. The black hatch spoiler. And power moonroof. We were rolling on the 18-inch black alloy wheels. So you got this bright red car with a lot of black trim on it.
That's awesome.
It's really a pretty car. Now, we roll into the interior, and we had the leather seating. The front seats are heated. The 60/40 rear seat folds down. And it actually has an armrest and console with cup holders, which to some people is very important to have cup holders in the rear seat. And we had up front, we had the 8.inch color display. Now, Mazda has their display kind of sitting on top of the dash, which is a little bit different. It's not really built into it, but it's part of it. And included all your convenience controls. Had the 360-degree monitor. Now, this particular display, it has down on the console, it's got a touchpad where it's kind of like a touch mouse that you can control things and move them around. Also behind the rear seat, we had the cargo cover so you can keep things out of sight, out of mind. And for the sound system, we had the Bose premium audio system with 12 speakers to kind of work out of that Mazda Connect infotainment system that's in that vehicle. The other thing I found out that the hatchback, one of the things I like about the hatchback is the storage in the back of it. The sedan, the Mazda 3 sedan, has 13.0 cubic feet of storage in the trunk space. Whereas the hatchback, when you lift it up, you can actually get 20 cubic feet in there, so it's considerably more storage available. Yeah.
My next-door neighbor bought one for his daughter, and it's white. I'll tell you, the white with the black trim on that is stunning.
Oh,
it really looks good.
Because things are almost white pearls that they're putting on things nowadays. Right. So up under the hood, we had the new 2.5-liter turbo engine. Now, the one that we had, this particular model had 227 horsepower and with 310 pound-feet of torque. There is an optional 250-horse turbo, 2.5-liter turbo, both of which would be backed by the 6-speed automatic. Now, I will tell you the 227 horse was more than ample for this little vehicle. I mean, it pushed it around and do just about – you want to feel sporty, you drive it like it's a little sports car, put it in sport mode, and get after it. So with the 250, I'm sure that would be just a lot more fun.
Yep.
Now, the EPA says you should be looking for 23 miles to the gallon in the city, 31 on the highway, and combined 26. I did get 25 out of it.
That's pretty good considering you're a lead foot.
Well, it was a fun little driver, and you just didn't really need to keep your foot off into it because it's got plenty of torque, but it's not like, having a big block in there or anything. So it's got the really zippy performance. It's got the iActive 4-wheel drive with a dynamic stability control, so it handled and drove really nice. It is a smaller car, so it's a nice little firm ride, but it's nothing out of the top of the world. If you're looking for a competitor, you might look at the Volkswagen GTI or a Toyota Corolla, Honda Civic. There's a bunch of them in this category, in this segment, that you can look at and compare it to. Now, you can get a base Mazda 3 2.5S that we were driving, the hatchback, for $22,650. Now, the Mazda 2.5 Turbo with a Premium Plus package all-wheel drive base is at $23,750, and MSRP is out at $35,415 for a pretty well-equipped little car.
A little hot hatch.
It's a hot hatch. I mean, nobody uses that term anymore, but that's exactly what it is.
Well, good luck on those editing skills. The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcasts, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Amazon, and Podcast Addict, among others. The In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, April 17th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, April 17th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, April 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy, weather permitting.